Hello, and welcome back. Today we are not playing Final Fantasy XIV. We are instead playing a new game, because we're all caught up, at least until 7.1 releases. And by a new game, I mean an old game, like an old game. I mean, this is a remake of the original, and the remake was made in 2014, which is 10 years ago. So, yeah, old game. But I've never actually played it. I think I tried it when I was younger, because I had heard about it, and I was like, oh, that sounds kind of fun. And then it was really difficult, and I found other games to play. So, you know. But today, we're gonna try it out. You know, I'm an adult now. Surely, I will stand a better chance at this game. So first off, what do they have? Key bindings? What? Okay, just like some letters. Nothing that I use for my things, so. And man, I've had to turn the volume for this game way down on my mixer. And even then, I still had to turn these down, but, you know, if it's still, like if the music gets really loud, we can adjust that a little, at least a little bit in here. New game. For players new to first-person adventures, does not require a deep knowledge of the Shadowgate universe. For players familiar with Shadowgate and first-person adventure games in general, we'll leave it at normal. I know that this game has, like, you could play it, like, as it was way back when, or you can play it with some new stuff added in, but yeah. I don't know why it says for players new to first-person adventures, whereas classic is for players familiar with first-person adventures. I don't know. But also, I don't know a whole lot about the Shadowgate universe, so I guess we'll just leave it normal. All I know is old game.
A hero's journey? A great quest? Certainly it shall be these things. But for you, young Jer Cuthager, soldier of Windermere, could it not be so much more?
Jer Cuthager.
In dreams, I have come to you, beseeching, entreating. Ride south, boy. Take naught but a dirk, a torch, courage. Ride south from Rivellin, around the southern arm, through the Waven Fair Wood, past Myrithsath, beyond the citadel of Murlak Tor, and the spires of Gimdane, and the darkness of Tarketh's Pass. There you shall find my stone in wait. Under the shade of the mountain range, none have entered, either on foot, on mount, on wing. Gatekeeper, the oldest of spires, it harbors that which has been spoken of in whispers and ascribed to legend. Shadowgate, the living castle. was not as it should be. One of our own is now our great bane. A blight upon us. He has brought the ancient keep low, and it now lies fallow. It is there that you will find me, Lakmir of the Circle of 12. It is there that you will find this great quest. It is there that you will find yourself.
And now we're at Shadowgate. Welcome to the tutorial. Gameplay tips will appear at appropriate times to teach you the mechanics of the game. You can turn these tips on or off, or change the command system at any time in the Settings tab of the Options menu. Click the X button to close a gameplay tip. Click on any object in the game and command icons will appear in a circle around that object. Click on a command icon to use that command on the selected object. For example, to take that skull on the ground, first click on the skull and then on the take icon, which looks like a hand. That skull right there? With Lakmir's words echoing about your head, you stumble a bit until the world ceases its lurching. You stand before the Gatekeeper Mountain. An ornate door, framed by a series of skulls, is fashioned into the rock wall. Reading your map. Click and drag to move around the map. Use the and icons on the compass in the lower left of the map to zoom in and out. Click the middle of the compass to recenter the map on your current location. The room you are currently in will be highlighted. As you discover different areas of Shadowgate, those areas will be added to the drop-down menu in the upper right of the map. So we're at the entrance. We are currently, at the very bottom of our map. And that's as far as we can zoom out. Okay. And looks like it goes quite a ways up. This is the caves. Objects in your inventory are sorted into 4 different sections. Spells are in the spells section. Objects that can be equipped are in the outfits section. Books and scrolls are stored in the archive section. Everything else is kept in the items section. Click on the tabs at the top of your inventory to switch between sections. Get a little... Okay, this is the U's probably. The rusted and pitted dirk looks as if it's seen better days. Unfinished spells. Interesting that you have to use it from there. You attempt to use the dirk on the door, but fail to accomplish much of anything. Look, there we are. You look upon yourself with apprehension, not knowing whether you are fully prepared for this strange adventure. A faint glow forms within the eye sockets of the bleached skull. You jump as the lower jaw rattles. Come on, boy! I haven't got all day. Pick me up! You ask the skull if it is, in fact, talking to you. That's right, boy. The thing replies. The name's Yorick. Now pick me up and take me with you. There's something underneath me that's not so comfortable. Yep. You nearly drop the skull when it begins to speak. About time, boy! You have no idea how long I've been here. You can call me Yorick. I have no recollection of how I got here, but I do know plenty about this castle. If you need help on this quest of yours, just speak to me and I'll give you a hint. Speak. As he begins speaking to Yorick, he interrupts.
You better be sure you want my advice before you speak to me again, because I'll be giving hints next.
Okay. The metal key has several strange etchings on its shaft. Pick up. You put the key in your satchel. Objects, e.g. a key, you take are stored in your inventory. Click on the satchel in the lower left corner of your screen to open your inventory. You can use commands on objects in the... I'm just going to hide all tips because this is pretty standard stuff. The metal key has several strange etchings on its shaft. Yeah, what... Or are you talking about the actual teeth of the key? Or are you talking about like actual etchings on the shaft of... like the side of the shaft of the key? I don't know. Wish you would tell me what the etchings look like. Thick green roots twist through the dense foliage. The circular indent in the archway suggests that something belongs in this slot. Every time you look at the skull, you hear a distant, high-pitched scream within your mind. Well, that's not good. The markings on this skull have an odd familiarity to them, as if from some half-remembered dream you woke from recently. Let's just leave that one up. Oh, it won't. Even though this is just a skull in the archway, you sense there is some form of power coming from it. Even though this is just a low thrum of power comes from this strange skull. It's a little hard to tell if this is an actual skull or a carving of a skull. That's the one that shrieks in my mind. A palpable aura of power emanates from this skull. Even though this is just a skull in the archway, you sense there is some form of power coming from it. You observe several scrapes, scratches, and gnaw marks on the skull, almost as if someone, or something, was trying to pry it free. This one specifically? Wait, no. Wait a minute. With the tickle in the back of your mind, it's almost as if the skull is trying to bore its way inside. Okay, so it's not necessarily each individual skull has its own thing. It's staring at the skull, you feel a tickle in the back of your mind. Although a thrum of power comes from this strange skull. That one's the same every time. Your vision momentarily fades. There's something strangely hypnotic about the thing. With odd familiarity to them, as if from some half-remembered dream you woke from. Tickle in the back of your mind. One of them said it had gnaw marks. This one. What if I said I wanted to use it? You attempt to pry the skull out with the dirk. This particular skull is lodged firmly in the archway. You backhand Yorick.
All right already. If you wanted me to pipe down, you could have said so. I'll keep my comments down to a minimum.
I didn't mean to... I was wondering why there was a fist. I was just thinking, you know, maybe Yorick might want to go in here. Or maybe Yorick was in there, got pried free, and now he's going to help me on my journey. Interesting. Iron bands bind the rough-hewn wooden planks that comprise this door. The door is locked. But I happen to have a key. You turn the key, unlocking the door. After a moment, you toss the key aside. What? No. Why? The door opens with an eerie creak.
Without warning, a pair of glowing eyes fill the
fool
chamber.
to send a child to do that which even the vaunted Circle of 12 could not. Contain my growing power. Come if you wish. It makes little difference. Seal your fate within this living castle of the dead.
The apparition fades, leaving a trail of cold air behind it. Well, an oil-soaked rag is wrapped around the end of this torch. Oh, it is. A healthy flame rises from the torch, illuminating your surroundings. Huh. So I have a torch. Let's just take this one as well. You drop the torch into your satchel. The runes on the archway glow with a mystical energy. You feel, more than hear, a low thrum of power. I'll take that torch too. This circular hatch is made of a strange stone set securely within a mortared base. Some enchantment has sealed it shut. Perhaps a magic spell would open the hatch. An ancient wooden lever protrudes from an iron plate set in the floor. Let's just save. Why not? Now that we're in the castle. A cold mist swirls about your feet, casting a surreal pall over this stone-arched antechamber. This heavy key is spotted with flecks of rust. I'll take that. So you gotta be on the lookout for things in the environment. Also, I don't have any spells, do I? No. Healthy flame. A strange pattern, unlike anything you have seen before, is carved into this solid iron door. The door is locked. Well, I have a key, so I guess I'll use it. You struggle with both hands to turn the key in the stubborn lock. A satisfying click echoes through the antechamber as you toss the key aside. The door easily swings open. A damp, musty breeze wafts out from behind an altar set within the stone alcove. You note that the long hallway continues further into the mountain. Giving the skeleton a quick once-over, you find no obvious cause of death. You do, however, have a bad feeling about this. This rolled-up parchment is secured with a dab of candle wax. Take that. You take the scroll. You put the torch in your satchel. Yeah, I'll just take it. Just, you know. You never know. You may need some torches, you know? Torches don't last forever. Amazingly, the flame does not consume the wick on this candle. The old, musty smell emanating from this book hints at its age. Strange markings and glyphs line the stone pillar that enshrouds the statue, one that depicts a hooded figure with a darkened visage. Just make sure to save. Turns 19? What? What if I open up the book? Something shifts under your feet as you open the book. What? What? Open skeleton. You pat down the corpse. Your rough handling produces a piece of parchment and a scroll, which you put in your pack. Archive. You read the hastily scrawled writing on the parchment. Since it is the only means to capture and control the elements, you must hide the silver orb beyond the waters of the sewer. The parchment of this scroll is brittle to the touch. Scroll crackles as you unroll it. You read the message scrawled on the page. Brown, I have your dog. If you wish to see the flying ace again, then bring the 3 pumpkins to the place beyond the harvest door. But be wary, for only one outfitted in a mask of the hallowed Eve can gain entrance. There you must carve my visage and illuminate the sacrifices in the field of jack-o'-lanterns. Then I will be freed, and this will all end. Cordially, DP. What? What? What about this one? You carefully open the scroll. You read the message scrawled on the scroll. Fandril, this missive is of utmost importance. We must coordinate our efforts. Seek my obelisk in the Acolyte Den below the sewers. I fear the worst is upon us, but I have plans in motion that may yet avert disaster. It is signed with the name Lakmir. You scan the ancient manuscript, noticing most of the language is unintelligible. However, one particular word stands out from the rest. Invocan. In your mind's eye, you see a glyph glowing with power and quickly write down the strange marking in your spellbook. You have learned a spell. Invocan. The translation of this spell glyph is Invocan. Your mind glimpses some spectral person at the edge of your consciousness. Most of the ancient writing is difficult to decipher. However, a passage catches your eye. It reads, "Only death to those who disturb the sacred altar." Damp musty breeze wafts out from behind an altar set within the stone alcove. You note that the long hallway continues further into the mountain. You quickly go through the pockets and sleeves of the dead figure's clothing. You find absolutely nothing. Oh, I thought I would use it on something, but very well. Oh, that's where a torch was, right? If we go back, you quickly go. Oh, a cold mist swirls around your feet, casting a surreal pall over the stone-arched antechamber. What if I used Invocan on these? You visualize the glyph in your mind and focus your will. When the pressure builds to an uncomfortable level, you release the spell. With a word, the power dissipates as quickly as it appeared. Hatch is made of a strange stone set securely within a mortared base. Perhaps a magic spell could open the hatch. Well, not Invocan, apparently. Small cloud of dust rises as you close the book. Boop. Yeah, but there's a breeze coming from behind the altar. Is there no way to go behind it? It looks like there's something, at least a path behind it. Oh well. Guess we push on. The passage continues on deeper into the mountain. A series of ancient doors encircle this small hallway. It looks as if a battle may have been fought here long ago. circle this small hallway, yes. This skull has a deep gouge in the back of its head, a telltale sign of a death blow from an axe. Take it? You take the skull. My skull now. This hand-stitched sack is made from the hide of an animal. Which animal, however, is uncertain. Take. Put the sack in your satchel. Open. You rummage through the sack and find a scroll. You put this in your satchel while discarding the sack. Why would I discard the sack? What if I need a sack? Ancient scroll, worn and crinkled, is made of pressed wood pulp. Not vellum, just pressed wood pulp. Tear the paper slightly as you unroll the parchment. While the writing is difficult to discern, you manage to glean a few key phrases. The danger is real. Alert the surrounding lands. Seal off the passages into the Gatekeeper Mountains. The wax seal shows an eagle in flight and is signed by someone named Fandril. That's the second Fandril note we found. This cluster of bones is still mostly intact. Dried sinews and muscles hold it together. You search amongst the bones of the skeleton, but find nothing that interests you. The surface of this metal door is pitted with age-old rust. The solid wooden door is banded in iron. Deep scratches and marks mar the surface of this otherwise simple door. Shave. Let's try this door. With a grunt, you push through the door, or you push the door open. A chill, fell air blows from this doorway. Teeth chattering, you stand within the cold cellar, hugging yourself for warmth. A creature made of ice hovers playfully on the far side of the room. Torching nights bursting into flames. Torching nights bursting into flames. Oh. There's something else there. The strange entity made entirely of solid ice and cold vapor hovers about the room in front of you. You've heard of a magical orb that can capture creatures like this. I need a magical orb then. This frost-covered door sits firmly within its stone frame. Put your shoulder to the door and shove it open. The smell of brimstone rises within this chamber as a pair of glowing eyes watch your every move from the opening in the far wall. You lash the iron shield securely to your forearm. The dragon notices you, moves its ponderous weight, and begins gathering a breath. No. Use it. With halting, shaky steps, you move towards the dragon. With a roar, the ancient beast releases a scorching stream of fire at you. You raise your iron shield just in time to block the dragon's flame, dispersing it harmlessly to either side of you. You put the hammer in your satchel. Gathering another breath, the dragon releases a superheated stream of fire at you. You lift your iron shield and once again block the fiery flame, although this time you can actually feel the heat. Invocan. With halting, shaky steps, you move towards the dragon. The ancient dragon shifts its weight and fires a blast of scorching flame right at you. You barely manage to raise your shield in time to block the dragon's flame. While the shield protects you, it glows red hot. Maybe we leave for a moment. You manage to rush from the room before the dragon can release a blast of fire. Teeth chattering, you stand within the cold cellar, hugging yourself for warmth. A creature made of ice hovers playfully on the far side of the room. Icy chill from this room cuts straight through your clothes and bleeds into your bones. Okay, but I want to take these torches, actually. Or tossing the previous one aside. Wait, no. Wait. Well. It's fine. The smell of brimstone rises within this chamber as a pair of glowing eyes watch your every move from the opening in the far wall. Place a small helm on your head. The fit is a bit snug. Dragon notices you, moves its ponderous weight and begins gathering a breath. All that gold. This pile of gold coins might have some value if they can be pried loose from the floor, that is. Oh. Interesting. Brimstone fills this chamber. Yes. We'll leave now. But hey, we've got ourselves a helmet and a shield. That's pretty good. How's the shield looking? This iron shield barely strapped to your arm is thoroughly warped by the intense heat it has endured. You have serious doubts in its ability to protect you much longer. Oh, great. Oh. A long, white object is frozen inside this piece of ice. You haul back and let loose with an uppercut. The resulting sound has nothing to do with the ice, rather is your fingers exploding in pain. Well, yeah, maybe that was a great idea. This hefty warhammer is finely crafted and inlaid with gold. You attempt to crush the ice with the swing of the hammer. A few small shards of ice come off, but nothing more. I guess we'll turn around. Get back out here. A series of ancient doors encircle this small hallway. It looks as if a battle may have been fought here long ago. With a creak of protest, the door opens. A dry, decaying smell wafts out from this doorway. The stone tombs lining the walls of this musty crypt. There is an ancient, almost reverent air to this place. Huh. The figure carved on the lid of this tomb has a mischievous, feral look to it. It is holding one upside-down torch. Huh. The likeness of a regal figure has been engraved on the lid of this tomb. A cowled, shadowy figure is carved on the lid of this crypt. An indistinct yet noble-looking warrior has been carved into this sarcophagus. A bas-relief carved on the tomb is of an ancient figure brandishing a sword. Why would I hit the... what? You hit the torch with a mighty punch that forces it downwards. You hear a mechanism release and then a rumbling beneath you. You jump back as the tomb in the center of the room slowly moves across the floor, revealing a stairway leading down. Hit the torch with a mighty punch that forces it downwards. Mighty punch that forces it downwards. Quick jab of the torch, it pivots upwards in its brackets. Cool. When you open the tomb, a horrific creature is released, letting out a piercing cry that cuts into your very being. It's a banshee, harbinger of death and disease. You feel a momentary stabbing pain before the spectre winks out of existence. Well, that's probably not good. This body wrapped in linens is gnarled and twisted. The wrappings appear to be very flammable. What if I... The ancient wrappings quickly go up in flames as the mummy burns. A mask falls to the ground. Your vision clears and the episode passes. Oh, that was intense. Episode? What? The horrible visage of this wooden mask resembles a witch from a children's tale. Take the mask and drop it into your satchel. What if I said equip? You slip the costume mask over your head. The thing smells terrible and makes it difficult to see. You slip... Oh. This room reminds you of the elven funhouse at King Otto's fair. You remember taking your sister, hoping to lose her in the reflective maze. Take those. Always need more torches. Seated at the bottom of the opening is a metal door locked securely in place. Huh. You catch some movement behind your reflection. You jump back in surprise before looking around the room. A faint warping effect moves across its surface. You see a warped reflection of yourself in the mirror, noting that you look nothing like when you started this adventure. You see a warped reflection of yourself in the mirror, noting that you look nothing like when you started this adventure. See a warped reflection of yourself in the mirror, noting that you look nothing like when you... Why does that one have a hit? You hit the glass with a quick, effective jab. The mirror cracks, revealing metal underneath. A jagged crack mars the reflexive surface of this mirror. Metal can be seen behind the broken glass. Run your fingers along the jagged shards of broken glass. Ouch! That hurt. You mumble to yourself, pulling out a splinter. Fingers along the mirror's frame, looking for hidden latches or releases. Nothing. 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 You rear back and strike the mirror with the hammer. The glass falls away from the frame, revealing a door behind it. Catch the torchlight, sending a colorful... The broken shards of this mirror catch the torchlight, sending a colorful prism about the room. A door waits behind the facade. Yes, but... Could I please open? No! What? Hello? There's a door. Am I not allowed to use the door? I guess. You yank on the hatch. Perhaps something is securing it on the other side. Well. With all your might, you swing the hammer at the mirror. Oddly enough, the weapon just bounces off the glass. Perhaps the mirror is enchanted. Invocan. You visualize the glyph in your mind and focus your will. When the pressure builds to an uncomfortable level, you release the spell with a word. The power dissipates as quickly as it appeared. Invocan. Sweat beads to your brow as you concentrate on the glyph and then release the spell. The power of your magic flies about in a spectacular fashion, but does little else. How do I open the door? Dang it. Nothing happens.
I'm thinking we take a look. I've got this skull, and I was thinking, what if I use it on here? You're physically incapable of getting the skull in the slot. It simply will not fit. Well then. In that case... With a grunt, you push the door open. You can smell heavy, damp air from within this doorway. Within a large cavern, you find yourself on the shore of a placid underground lake. It is hard to tell from this distance, but you think you see a skeleton chained to a rock. Perhaps you need to get a closer look. Perhaps I don't, though. A small waterfall empties out into the lake. A curving set of stairs lead up into the darkened passage.
Look at me! I do have a helmet and a shield and a mask.
You sense something large and ominous deep below the surface of these black waters.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
I did in fact sense that. Use the lake on what? I don't know. The lake failed to do anything constructive to the cavern. Let's just go this way, you know. Let's not linger at the lake. A magnificent waterfall cascades from the mouth of an ancient stone statue, painstakingly carved into the cavern wall. Below it, an undulating mass of water hovers playfully above the river. Hovering before you is an entity made entirely of water and mist. The liquid elemental continuously forms and reforms in a hypnotic way. You've heard of a magical orb that can capture creatures like this. This marking looks like a dwarven craftsman's stamp. Having cut a deep furrow into the rock of this cavern, an underground river rushes past you and into a large crevice. The river runs swiftly to your right and through a large opening in the cave wall. Tall waterfall cascades down from the mouth of a statue carved into the cavern wall. You can see the outline of the cave. You cup your hands in the water and bring them to your face, washing away the accumulated grit and grime from your adventure. You lunge at the water elemental, succeeding only in getting drenched as the creature slips through your grasp. You've heard of a magical orb that can capture creatures like this.
Invocan.
Yeah, same thing. This makes it disappear. Man. Exception of annoying headache, nothing else resulted from your spellcasting.
Invocan.
Your concentration is thoroughly compromised by the watery being, so you miscast your spell and create a small explosion. The water elemental responds with a squirt of water in the eye. Well,
I swear I can see like some stairs behind that waterfall, but I don't know how to do anything about this.
Up your hands in the water, bring them to your face. Yeah. Huh.
Invocan.
You attempt to both cast the spell and throw it across the surface of the lake. This fails miserably in a misfire that explodes painfully in your face. Well, that's rude. Infocon! With the exception of an annoying headache, nothing else resulted from your spell casting. Perhaps you need to get a closer look somehow. Yeah, somehow. Series of ancient doors. Huh. Open. The lid slides open with an eerie creak. You grasp the large orange thing. It becomes painfully clear that it is a pumpkin. Ancient wrappings quickly go up in flames. Eerie creak. Whoops. Ancient wrappings are so dry that they almost disintegrate in the flames. As it burns, a scroll tumbles to the floor, having escaped the fire. Take that. Careful not to destroy it. A drawing of 6 rectangular shapes are drawn on the parchment. Several lines point to the shapes with writing underneath. You read 2 of the notations. This mirror leads through the furnace and into the castle beyond. And these mirrors require power to activate and will teleport to places strewn across the castle Demesne. Huh. 6 rectangular shapes. This mirror leads through the furnace and into the castle beyond. And then these mirrors require power to activate and will teleport to places strewn across the castle. Interesting. Open. Burn. Sack is made from a thick burlap. You rummage through the thick burlap, finding a scroll and 2 gears. You take these while discarding the sack. No, it might be important you carefully unroll the scroll. The handwritten scroll is faded and difficult to read, but you can make out one passage. When Modul's tail lights the northern skies, and the alignments are in harmony, then shall ye take the circle runes of water and fire, and the all-seeing eye, and place them with the great eagle that sits on the one tree. Uh-huh. This plump pumpkin seems the perfect size to make into a jack-o'-lantern. You wield the dirk with an expertise you didn't know you possessed. You lop off the top and carve a creepy face, transforming the pumpkin into a rather impressive-looking jack-o'-lantern. The carved jack-o'-lantern portrays a disturbing visage, not unlike some creature from the underworld. This large gear has a series of runes and glyphs inscribed on it. Pivots upwards in its bracket. Downwards. Upwards. Downwards. This tomb is lined in a fabric that has somehow resisted the touch of decay. You shudder, imagining yourself locked inside a stone tomb like this for any length of time. Strange iridescent glyphs line the insides of this crypt. They give off a particularly malevolent air. Scratches and scrapes crisscross the insides of this tomb. You wonder what that portends. Yeah, and then there's this room. A door that I cannot open. Actually, two doors, technically. Invocan does nothing. What if I put a torch back in there? Using the torch has no effect on the I'm not on the chamber. Come on the sconce where it once was. Okay. Torch licks hungrily at its wood base. Oh, it's running out then. That's not great. Filled with mirrors reminds you of the Elven Funhouse at King Otto's Fair. Well. Huh. With halting, shaky steps, you move towards the dragon. The dragon notices you, moves its ponderous weight, and begins gathering a breath. Okay. Leave, re-enter. You look the skull over and change your mind, deciding that it won't be helpful on your quest. Sweat beads your brow as you concentrate on the glyph and then release the spell. The power of your magic flies about in a spectacular fashion, but does little else.
A little fire might warm things up a bit in here. You can use your torch on objects to burn or melt them.
Can it really melt the...
What?
You bring the lit torch close to the ice. It takes a few moments, but eventually the ice melts away, revealing a scroll hidden within. Takes a few hours, more like. Take the scroll. You unroll the scroll, careful not to rip it. As you scan the scroll, one particular word almost seems to jump out at you. Agap. In your mind's eye, you see a glyph glowing with power and quickly write down the strange markings in your spellbook. Before the scroll crumbles in your hands, you realize that you have learned a spell. Agap. This spell glyph translates to the word Agap. You sense a huge weight, like a stone, opening itself to some mystery beyond. What if I go back here and I use Agap on here? You focus your will on the stone hatch, whispering the words of the spell. A strange power flows out of you, enveloping the stone hatch. After a moment, the stone lid opens. How about that? You lean in close, anxious to look inside the open hatch. The stone compartment harbors a strange mechanism, one comprised of levers, rods, and gears. Use a gear. With some effort, you force the gear into its slot. That doesn't seem to fit, though. Fumble with the loose gear, but do not have the leverage to pry it away. What? Attempting to pry free the gear with the dirk only succeeds in dulling the weapon. What? Something is happening. After a few moments, you stop trying to use the gear on the closet. Is there any other? Wait a minute. Here? No. What you expected hasn't happened. The gear did not do anything to the button. So there's a button there. Pull the lever down. You pull the lever down. Pull the lever, it moves up. You trigger the button with a punch. Grudgingly, the ancient mechanism begins to turn, but shudders to a halt, almost immediately. A faraway screech signals something attempting to move and failing. Yorick startles you by saying,
That didn't sound right. You might want to try again.
What if I pull this one all the way down? Push it. You strike the lever, it doesn't move. It is stuck in place. Well, that's interesting. Produces an ear-splitting screech of protest as the gears try to spin. After that, the silence is almost deafening.
That didn't sound right. You might want to try again.
What do you think? Aha! The mechanism glows, vibrates, and begins to move. You can hear the sound of rushing water deep within the castle. Yorick comes to life and says,
Well, that sounded encouraging, eh, boy? Should probably go see what that just did.
Indeed. I happen to know just the place. Aha! Only a trickle of water can be heard moving within this shallow underground riverbed. Off to the side, an undulating mass of water playfully flits about the chamber. Its opening looks tight, but you believe you could squeeze through it. This small cave makes a great hideaway, concealed as it is by the waterfall. This corpse is dressed in what was once a regal set of robes. Blood stains the collar, perhaps providing a clue to what killed this unfortunate soul. This room glows with power. It is firmly attached to the wall. Truly, this must have belonged to one of the wizards of the circle. This room glows with power. It is firmly attached to the wall. Truly, this must have belonged to one of the wizards of the circle. You search the corpse for anything useful. Your efforts produce a scroll, which you deposit in your pack. You read the hastily scrawled words on the scroll. Brother, if you are reading this, then I am no more. I fear we have underestimated his ambition and the depths he would travel in the dark arts. Protect the seals at all cost. He must not get them. Power up the ways and follow the mirrored path to the lone keep. Add your strength to Untholms. If nothing else, perhaps your weather master can blunt the evil one's advance, especially with your support. Fare thee well, Fandril the High. You pull with all your might, but the rune will not budge an inch from the wall. Perhaps it's enchanted in some way. Same there. Aga. Sweat beads your brow as you concentrate on the glyph and then release the spell. The power of your magic flies about in a spectacular fashion, but does little else. Yeah. Aga. Invoca. Yeah. Calming your mind, you draw in the power from your surroundings. As you begin visualizing the spell, vivid memories of your childhood distract you. The subsequent spell backfires in spectacular fashion. Invoca. And nothing. You take the stone. Yeah, excuse me. You take the stone. Well, now I've got 2 stones. Since nothing is happening, after a few moments, you stop trying to use the stone on the rune. Well, you decide it's better not to disturb the remains any further. Well.
That skeleton looks interesting. If the lake was frozen, you could walk right over to it.
Yeah, you know, if only the lake was frozen.
Buddy. Lakmir is the one who brought you here. You should seek him out. Look for an obelisk.
Yeah, I'll just look for an obelisk. It's not like I've been through every room in this place.
When you open the book, you feel something shift in the floor. It's real weird.
Oh? Hold up.
You put your shoulder against the stone and push. The rock fractures and crumbles inward, revealing an opening.
Hold up.
You force yourself through the narrow opening and into the darkness beyond. A figure moves within the opening at the back of the grotto. You hear the unmistakable twang of a longbow, followed by the whistle of an arrow. With a shout, you raise the shield in the nick of time. The arrow shatters against your armament.
Yeah, I have a shield then.
You look the skull over and change your mind, deciding that it won't be helpful on your quest. Contemplate taking the bone. After a moment, you relent, deciding that it won't be helpful in your quest. Drop the arrow into your satchel. You stand at the edge of a lava-filled chasm, impossible as it seems. The faint, terrified screams of some unfortunate soul echo within its depths. Roll wild.
Uh-huh.
The carving on this keystone is of a circle within a shield outline. Strange writings cover the stone. You think you recognize the name Majal amongst the hard-to-decipher language. This half-buried carved stone appears to be a keystone. Uh-huh. This metal brazier has a wide bowl mounted on a tripod. The legs look like a series of inverted hooks poorly welded together.
You said tripod, but I see 4. First off, there's 1 leg, not 3. Second off, there's 4 feet, not 3. So, there's nothing tripod about this. You lied to me.
Judging by the workmanship, this stone bridge seems quite sturdy. The rickety bridge is held together with nothing but frayed rope and rotten wood planks. As if in warning, a mounted skull stands guard in front of it. Peering over the edge of the chasm, you nearly lose your balance. A blast of warm air greets you, the faint cry from some unknown creature close on its tail.
Huh. Huh.
Oops.
What if I used a pumpkin on this?
Using the pumpkin has no effect on the brazier. Despite your best efforts, the brazier refuses to light. Now, you said this... You attempt to lift the large stone, but it proves too heavy. I don't know. You said something about Majal, and I swear I had a note that said something about Majal. Control the elements, orb. Hide the silver orb beyond the waters of the sewer. Did I not have something that said something about Majal? Wait. When Majal's tail lights the northern skies, and the alignments are in harmony, then shall ye take the circle runes of water and fire, and the all-seeing eye, and place them with the great eagle that sits on the one tree. Apparently I'm not even allowed to go that way. Take this right. A dense fog greets you as the stone passage opens into a small chamber. The temperature plummets as a creature materializes in front of you. It flinches from the light of your torch. The torch ignites, bursting into flames. The torch ignites, bursting into flames. Yor clatters his teeth, saying, "It sure did get cold in here. Cold and dark." With a cry, you swing the lit torch at the wraith. The ethereal being is instantly enveloped in a bright flash of flame, its tortured moan hanging in the air as it vanishes. No, I wanted to put it out, but congratulations, you have earned the Torchbearer achievement. Man. This rune is firmly attached to the wall, glowing with power. Truly, this must have belonged to one of the wizards of the circle. I'm just gonna take this pumpkin. Pull with all your might, but the rune will not budge an inch from the wall. Perhaps it's enchanted in some way. Solid doors carved with strange designs and ornate filigrees. With a creak of protest, the door opens. What happens if I invoke on? Nothing. Annoying headache. Aga. And nothing. Alright, let's go. Whether it be a sewer or a reservoir system for the castle, mold, mildew, and moss bespeckle the stone within this chamber. The iron door is latched shut by nothing more than a simple bolt. You pull back the bolt, opening the hatch. Put the scroll in your satchel. As you read the scroll, one particular word stands out from the rest. Entrays. In your mind's eye, you see a glyph glowing with power as you write down the strange marking in your spellbook. The scroll crumbles in your hands. You have learned a spell. The water barely covers the sandy floor of this sewer. Tiny scurrying sounds can be heard coming from beyond this grate. Wait, why can this one be opened? You shake the iron grate, noting that it appears to be slightly loose. You tug on the iron bars. The grate resists at first, but then it opens, providing access to the chamber beyond. Yeah, we've got a new entrays. The meaning of this spell glyph is clear. Entrays. You whisper as the way seems to open in front of you, a metallic screech echoing in the recesses of your mind. Ooh. Hang on. You jump and manage to find a handhold within the hatchway. After a frantic moment or two, you manage to pull yourself through. This room reminds you of the elven funhouse at King Otto's Fair. Entrays. You concentrate, drawing power from the air itself. After a moment, you release the spell with a word. With the exception of an annoying headache, nothing else resulted from your spell casting. Come on! Fine. You carefully lower yourself through the opening in the floor. You slosh around in the ankle-deep water, careful not to make too much noise. No, I want to go through here. Peering into the darkness, you drop down in the muck and crawl through the tight opening. This stone den is damp and smells of copse and green foliage. As if a mirage, the far side of the cave shimmers and power emanates from a standing stone obelisk. The stone obelisk is nearly 10 hands high, embellished with strange glyphs and 3 deep notches. It hums with an ancient power that assures you it can be powered by a simple magical invocation. Invocan! With a whispered word, your spell is unleashed. You focus your will on the stone obelisk. With a whispered word, your spell is unleashed. A strange apparition coalesces from within the obelisk, the ghostly figure of an old man cloaked in a shimmering veil.
You have done well, simple soldier. Now, listen if you have ears, since the shadows grow long and time fleet. Some 40 years past, an evil, the likes the world has not beheld, escaped its prison. Talimar, the Black, he of whom I have already spoken. This warlock lord brought forth his dark magics and conjurations, and unleashed his foul vassals, desecrating these sacred halls. Talimar has laid waste to the combined power of man. And what of the Circle of 12, the great wizards? They are no more. I am the last. Pity me not, boy. We were resolute in our judgment, but erred greatly. 'Twould have been better to put our brother to death, but mercy and folly prevailed. I know not Talimar's full plans, but have discovered enough to fill my heart with fear. And yet, hope remains, and it stands or falters with you. Fare thee well.
Wizard's Friend achievement. Lakmir, the Timeless vanishes. leaving behind a scroll, a glowing orb, and the words, "Fare thee well. Fare thee well." Congratulations, you have earned the Wizard's Friend achievement. I'll take those. The stone obelisk is nearly 10 hands high, embellished with strange glyphs and 3 deep notches, hums with an ancient power. You read the words on the scroll aloud. 5 to find, 3 are 1. 1 gives access the bladed sun, the silver orb to banish below. The staff of ages to vanquish the foe, joining to the golden thorn, the last to invoke the platinum horn. Five to find, 3 are 1. 1 gives access the bladed sun. The silver orb to banish below, the staff of ages to vanquish the foe, joining to the golden thorn, the last to invoke the platinum horn. Quite the little riddle we have here. Just head on through here. Back here. Because I know that I can take this. Taking the silver orb from your satchel, you advance upon the ice elemental. You can barely hold on as a power from within the orb latches onto the singularity and pulls it inside. A frosty pattern immediately encases the orb. Nice. And then I guess we use the orb down here. As you release the ice elemental, you fumble with the silver orb, dropping it onto the lake immediately. The still water freezes onto a solid sheet of ice. Excellent work. But wait! You can see the outline of your magical orb frozen just below the surface. Perhaps the touch of some flame will release the imprisoned object. Hopefully. First, let's go check this. You make your way across the slippery ice towards the chained skeleton. The skeletal remains of some unfortunate soul are chained securely to this rock. You carefully remove the key from around the skeleton's neck. You untie the blindfold from the skeleton's head and place it in your pack. Doing your best impersonation of a strong man, you attempt to pull the chain apart with your bare hands. It is no wonder you never became a strong man. Wow. You stop yourself from disturbing the poor tortured soul, knowing you need all the good luck you can get. Yeah. What if I take a hammer to him? Nothing happened when you used the hammer on the manacle. What if I use the key on the manacles? You can see no visible lock on this manacle. It appears to be welded together. What? What? How? Probably through magic, I guess. Dang, dude. The heat from the lit torch melts the ice around the silver orb, freeing it. The ancient artifact rises to the surface of the frozen lake. I'll take that. Thank goodness it didn't sink. Hello, little thing. You slowly remove the silver orb and hold it out in front of you. A power from within the artifact immediately pulls the entity inside. Beads of water on the form on the surface of the orb.
sure what to do about these runes. Within a large cavern, you find yourself on the shore of an underground lake. The water is frozen solid. The ice that covered this underground lake melts away as if it had never been. We'll just go this way. The room of mirrors. This is the only door that I know of now. You insert the key and turn it. The door unlocks and you throw away the key. Finally. It never said that the door was locked, so I didn't know why I couldn't open it. As you open the door, a wave of heat slams into you, making your eyes water. A wave of heat washes over you as you move into the next room. An intense heat, surely from the unearthly fire before you, fills this large room. Use this on me? Give the blue surface of the orb a quick polish with some spit and a buff from your sleeve. No, that's not what I wanted. Once released from the silver orb, the water elemental immediately launches itself into the fire pit before disappearing. The flames lower to a tolerable level. How does that go? Out of the dragon's den and into the furnace? Yorick asks brightly. How does that go? Out of the dragon's den and into the furnace? The door sticks a little, but when you put your shoulder to it, it finally opens. Veins of light-colored rock are pressed into the darker granite of this cave walls. Large gear is connected to some mechanism in the ceiling via a long chain. An ancient wrought iron gate rests securely within its carved stone frame. This type of grate can only be operated via a spell to raise or lower it. Huh. A gear etched in strange runes is firmly connected to a mechanism that protrudes from the wall. I feel like we're going to need an extra gear in here. Yep. You let out a sigh of relief as the gear slips into place with a click. Entries. And that's not the right area to use that. Let's use it on the gate itself. Entries. You have a long breath. Gather your will and chant the spell. Debris falls from the rocks above as the iron gate responds, lifting with a shudder and a squeal and opening the way forward. Reaching upward, this ancient skeleton looks like it might have once been one of the inhabitants of this castle. You go through the torn clothes of the dead figure. A rolled piece of parchment is all that catches your fancy. You read the elegant writing of the scroll. Brother Delden, please see to it that the circled chamber is prepared for the ritual. The circled dais was in need of some repair the last time we performed the initiate spell on it. We have a young candidate ready for initiation. Once the rite is performed on the platform, please bestow on him all authority and privilege commensurate with an acolyte of the order. It is signed with an archaic letter L. Firmly attached to the wall, this room glows with power. Truly, this must have belonged to one of the wizards of the circle. The room does not budge, even budge an inch from the wall. Perhaps it's enchanted in some way. This vast chamber is dominated by an intricately carved circle, wreathed by 12 stone thrones. Power pulsates from mystical symbols set within the floor. I'll take this. There is an obelisk. Adorned with strange carvings and glyphs, the stone obelisk emits an inner hum that
assures you it can be powered by a simple magical invocation. While much of the scroll is faded, one part still stands out, and in the end, the evil shall be thrice defeated and thrice returned. The first shall raise a warder to bar the gates from opening. The second shall raise one of the carefree to travel the path of luck. The last shall raise a raven to remake what was undone. The letter is signed Gabriel and includes a glyph which shows 4 vertical lines of varying height. A dizzying number of strange runes, the vast majority you have never seen before, are carved into the circled dais. A hum of power emanates from the center, along with a ghostly whisper of a word. A censer. This ravished throne is ornately carved and decorated with runes. Many of the symbols on this chair are of avian design. This particular throne has been partially destroyed. Nevertheless, there's a sense of power about it. Anyway, you fidget a bit on the stone chair, knowing that it just doesn't feel right sitting in this place. The gauze-like blindfold is made from a lightweight material. Take off the mask and wrap the blindfold around your head. I don't know, seems... could be useful. Invocan! Your eyes roll back into your head as you focus your will on the stone obelisk. You whisper the word, Invocan, and unleash the spell. The image of Lakmir materializes from within the obelisk.
Listen carefully to my words, boy. There were many who followed the path of the One. Worthy were they, and I counted them as brothers and sisters. Now only I remain, he who is called Timeless. I have fought the good fight, sending many of Talimar's horde back to the depths that spawned them. And though my power is beyond that of mortal man, it is not without limit. But why do I appear before you thus? Am I a ghost? No. Surely I am more than that. This is naught but a projection. As my living being has sought shelter within my tower, it is here I continue my studies to aid you in what ways I can. I grow weary, but know this. I have glimpsed a vast power at the foundation of this castle. This power the Warlock Lord covets above all else. But he fears as well. A hero from the line of the ancients. Or so says Gabriel the Bard. Gird yourself against what is to come, simple soldier. And forsake me not. Follow the ways of the circle. Stray not from its path.
The image of Lakmir materializes from within the obelisk.
Stray not from its path.
He finishes as his form fades away to nothing. You press both hands against the door at the top of the stairs and... oh, that door. And push. After a moment, it grinds open. Not unlike the image in your dreams, the entrance to the inner keep of Castle Shadowgate stands before you, set with a heavy wooden drawbridge. The inner keep. I'll take the rope. You pinch your nose in disgust. The stench of decay rising from this old stone well is nauseating. If I use the rope. Your attempt at tying the rope to the rotted wood crossbeam is met with failure. It seems there is no way to fasten the rope securely. You struggle to turn the crank on the well. It appears to be stuck. Well then. What if I use entrails on... No. Entrails on this. Release the power of the spell. This effect produces some fireworks. Headache. Little else. A set of gears connected to heavy chains is attached to the castle's foundation. You wonder what purpose the mechanism might hold. Actually, I feel like I'm probably supposed to... No? Failed to accomplish much of anything, okay. Use the stone on the rope. So I can't just tie it off to there. And I wouldn't be able to just try to swing the rope over your head to gain the momentum needed to make it to the window. Your efforts are in vain. You might want to find something that you can tie to the end of the rope. Yeah, you know, I happen to have some things, but apparently they just won't work. With the hammer, with the stone, with the arrow, nothing. What about the skull? Nope. After all these years, the castle still looks impressive. Uh-huh. What you expected hasn't happened. The rope did not do anything to the Dirk. After all these years, the castle still looks impressive. Yeah. And? This narrow slot in the stone wall creates a great vantage for the castle's defenses. The thick wooden planks of this drawbridge create a formidable barrier. Aga. How dissipates. Aga. No. Aga. Bro. So I got a rope. What if I tried to use Invocan again? Unleash the spell. Image of Vlakmir rises from the obelisk. His pained expression momentarily fades as he locks eyes with you.
Time grows short. Do not fail me, young one.
Vlakmir's image grows dim as his words echo in your mind. A series of runes and etchings decorate this stone throne. An undercurrent of power runs along its edges as well. Take a seat on the stone chair. Somehow it just doesn't feel like you are worthy to do so. This majority you've never seen before. Carved in the circular days. A hum of power emanates from its center along with a ghastly whisper of the word Essentia. What if I said a gop? Nope. Gop. Surprise. Nothing. Invocan. Nothing. Fills this large room. What could I even do with this rope? You're back? Huh. Didn't realize they would return. Just to make sure I don't get incinerated later. Up. Force yourself through the narrow opening and into the darkness beyond. Cold air rushes down into the chamber, no doubt from the opening in the rocky wall above. You sense a furtive movement within the darkness of the opening. Something or someone is definitely up there. Up. Nothing. Entrais. Invoca. Oh yeah. Wonder if so orb trails spray of fire or water that quickly extinguishes the flame of the campfire. Now what if I go and get another one of those guys? Put out the other fire. Wonder if that does anything. Back of the grotto. He doesn't seem to pose any risk to you. Interesting. Extinguishes the flame of the campfire. Come on. Someone's definitely up there. Was across here? Oh, this place, yeah. Anything but inviting. Take a hesitant step on the rickety bridge. The bridge sways and creaks alarmingly. You halt in mid-stride and step back off the bridge. Definitely doesn't seem safe. Perhaps there's some entity that could help you become lighter than air.
Perhaps.
This is just the courtyard so far, but there's more. Oh boy.
Still in the caves here. Out from the opening in the rocky wall above. What if? Despite the pain, you hold your hand over the flame, attempting to see how long you can last. 4 seconds later, you have your answer. I mean, that's not what I wanted to do, but sure. What if I take this and I release him right here? With a halting, shaky step, you move towards the dragon. The dragon notices you moving, moves its ponderous weight and begins gathering a breath. Apparently nothing happens. Veins of light-colored rock are pressed into the darker granite of the cave walls. Fingers numbly raise the orb above your head. With a blast of chilled air, the ice elemental escapes, quickly disappearing from sight. The muddy bottom of the moat looks far from inviting. In an attempt to camouflage yourself, you spread a handful of mud across your face. Not unlike the image in your dreams, the entrance to the inner keep of Castle Shadowgate stands before you, set with a heavy wooden drawbridge.
The drawbridge may be closed, but that isn't the only way into the castle. If only there was a way to reach those windows. Maybe you could put something together that would help? Try looking around the caves. There must be something down there you can use.
I ain't got no bow. Sure wish I did.
For all these years, the castle still looks impressive, yeah.
Doesn't really do anything for me. You would think firing an arrow through the window, but I don't have a bow, so how am I supposed to... What's this? What? What the? I think the metal bar appears to have broken off the iron gate. When did that happen? Well, we've got a metal bar. Pitched wrapping is lit, yes. Oops. Pull with all your might, but the rune will not budge an inch from the wall. Perhaps it's enchanted in some way, yeah. Got a metal bar. An ancient wrought iron gate, once a formidable barrier, now lies open before you. Attempt to force the grate open, but the bars are firmly anchored in place. Really don't know what I could do with a metal bar. At least at the moment. You lodge the bar into a seam in the brazier and pull. The metal bowl separates with a clang and falls into the chasm, leaving the metal like... What? What do you mean it falls into that chasm? Okay. Sure. Why not? Well, time to enter the castle, I guess. Displaying an expertise you did not know you possessed, you swing the grappling hook about your head a few times and let it fly. The hook latches in the window slit of the castle wall. The rope dangles from a narrow window slit high on the castle wall. You jump down into the muddy moat before using the hanging rope to pull yourself up and into the window above. This room is dry as a bone, and apparently houses the mechanism that raises and lowers the drawbridge. A hum of power travels along the machinery. Take this note. This type of iron cauldron was forged for one purpose, releasing boiling oil onto attacking forces. Yup. A huge gear is firmly secured to the ceiling of this chamber.
solidly built crate sits in the room. You swing your weapon at the crate, smashing it wide open. Rummage through the busted crate, searching for anything useful. Apparently find nothing, because it doesn't mention fails to do anything instructive on the crate. Some ruffian has vandalized this wooden crate. Swing your weapon at the crate, smashing it wide open. You swat the lever with your open hand. With a rumble, the chains move and gears begin to turn. There is an unmistakable sound of a drawbridge being lowered outside. Cool. Doesn't appear to be anything else in here. Let's take a look at the note. You read the words on the scroll, noting it's a letter addressed to the wizard Greylord. My friend, I will remain secure in my Demesne. What? In my Demesne. Here in the Gatekeeper Mountains, guarding the northern passage. Look for my signal pyre. If more come from the north, I regret that I must bring my most formidable pet with me, since only I can control it. The name Unthalm is signed in a flourish at the bottom of the page. You carefully unroll this. Oh, no. That was a previous bit. Hey, out the window we go. You test the secured rope, scamper out the window, and successfully rappel down the slick wall. Not unlike the image in your dreams. Yes, the entrance. I'll take that back. You yank on the end of the rope and free it from its position. Coiling the rope, you place the grappling hook in your pack. Infiltrator achievement. Taking a deep breath, you saunter across the drawbridge and into the inner castle. Congratulations, you have earned the Infiltrator achievement. As you enter the grand hallway, a goblin jumps out from the shadows, surprising you with a war cry. While you backpedal, the beast tightens its grip on its weapon. Dirk. With more speed than you thought possible, the goblin anticipates your move and brings down its wickedly pointed cudgel. The weapon penetrates deep into your brain and puts an end to your brief yet adventure-filled life. What?
"'Tis a sad thing that your adventures have ended here."
Uh-huh. I'll make sure to.
After all these years, the castle still looks impressive.
Yeah. What else could I have done? Goblin. Anticipating your move, the goblin springs forward and brings down its wickedly pointed cudgel. The weapon penetrates deep into your brain. What? I literally said use shield. You know, block.
"'Tis a sad thing that your adventures have ended here."
Yes, it is. It's also ridiculous. Bro. Anticipating your move of lifting your shield
He passes your brain in before you can move. What?
That your
Huh? How does that work? If I kiss spell. Yeah, nope. Anticipating your move, he just bashes your brain in.
'Tis a sad thing.
Well, it's our first death. But also, like... Should I just... leave? With a snarl of rage, the beast lunges at you, swinging its wickedly pointed cudgel. The sharp end of the weapon penetrates deep into your brain, putting an end to your brief yet adventure-filled...
"'Tis a sad thing that your..."
What? Also... Hang on. Am I not... I'm wearing a helmet. Oh, maybe unequipping the blindfold. Can now see clearly once again. Place a small helmet on your head. The fit is a bit snug. What? A look of surprise flits across the goblin's face as you throw a haymaker at its jaw. With a sickening crack, the goblin goes down like a sack of potatoes. You shake your hand and mutter in satisfaction. Didn't see that one coming, did you? No, don't stab him with your sword. Don't lift your shield to block his attack. No, 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 no. Punch him! Punch him right in the jaw! That totally works. The unconscious goblin lies prostrate on the floor. You pat down the goblin but fail to find anything of value. But what about his weapon? No? You deliver the coup de grace to the unconscious goblin, ending its life. Good. Let us end its miserable life. What's going on there? Far above your head, a blue mass of energy pulses, perhaps powering something within the castle. Despite its age, the suit of armor retains a high gloss, as if someone has been polishing it. It's obvious that this suit of armor was made for dress parades and fancy occasions. You wouldn't be caught dead in one of these. You look for some way to put on the armor, but its pieces are welded together. With a grunt, you pull the door open. A musty smell wafts out from this opening. This library must contain thousands of ancient tomes, books, and manuscripts. A thick coating of dust covers everything. A strange yellow glow fills this room, giving you a peaceful, easy feeling. You flip through the book, noting the pages are blank. Blank book. Although you struggle with the poor penmanship, you read on. I am honored to have been selected by Fandril to document the workings of the Circle. The newest initiate is a young man with an inquisitive nature. He has taken the name of Lakmir and intends to study the origins of time. Although his mastery is yet to be chosen, the High One mentioned that Lakmir is not from his line and thus cannot be groomed to become head of the Circle.
Rather, the new initiate was chosen from an unorthodox scrying performed by Tilomir. I do not trust that one. He has an ambition and a hunger that does not sit well with a member of the circle. This red candle sits in a dull brass holder. Mine. A white candle rests in an ornate holder. Also mine. A thick layer of dust covers the wooden chair. You sit down wearily, letting out a long sigh. This book is bound in pale white leather and secured with a locked metal strap. The name Ularu is written on the spine. Drop the book into your satchel. I guess it's locked, right? So you need a key to open it. Made from some hide-like material, this map shows the continental lands of Kaltorlin. Made from some hide-like material, this map shows the continental lands of Kaltorlin. Many bookshelves. As you examine the brimming bookcase, you feel the movement of air coming from someplace behind it. What? What? Sensing something strange, you step closer to the books on these shelves. A series of shelves are cluttered with books of varying shapes, sizes, and colors. The accumulated knowledge in this place must be truly staggering. You flip through several pages and notice they all look the same. All have illustrations of cats with random, encouraging yet trite sayings spelled out beneath. Actually, how is it? Book fails to do anything instructive to the bookcase. Well then. Read compact lettering. Gerna knew not what had befallen her. She lay trapped in a hold of want and desire for the pretender standing before her. Many a night had never produced a desire like the likes of this. For his part, Uther was driven by lust and hatred, unconcerned by the that might be the product of this tryst. Sure, I feel like one of these books has got to be one that needs to be, like, moved. Strangely, you feel compelled to leave the book in place. What? Why would I feel compelled to do that? Passage at the beginning. Oh, you mourners of the western folds of fair Centralia, you felt the fires burn from deep below. The steam arises after for 50 years. The people are no more, and the fires continue to burn. Come on, one of these books has got to be what I need to move. So why does this one have a hand? So weird. Thousands of ancient tombs. It sure does. Come on. Oh.
Does this seem like the time to curl up to a fire with a nice book?
Sheesh. Maybe. Maybe it is, Yorick. Look, man. One of these has gotta be a fake book. Like, seriously, what do you mean, strangely, you feel compelled to leave the book in place? Then why is there a hand icon there? Feel the movement of air coming from behind this bookcase. And then this one. Sensing something strange, you step closer to the books on these shelves. Burn the books. A strong ethereal presence prevents you from torching the book. Must be ensorcelled, you muse to yourself. Entres. Aga. Invocar. The first circle. This is the first circle. And those included Kuthagar the First, Master of the Elements, Hildur the Second, Seer of Visions, Valirgis the Third, Mistress of the Air, Akarina the Fourth, Lady of the Lakes, Tilamir the Fifth, Master of Shadows, Chanelre the Sixth, Sorceress of Illusions, Eldiel the Seventh, High Priestess, Thorgruk the Eighth, the First Thaumaturge, Razefair the Ninth, Mistress of Animals, Faratolf the Tenth, Summoner, Tim the 11th, the Enchanter, and Glukshag the 12th, Necromancer. Man. Guess we'll just open this door. This large hall is dominated by a stained glass window rising to the height of the vaulted ceiling. Take the scroll. An impressive window dominates the far side of the hall. The stained glass depicts a number of robed figures, each reaching for some type of conflagration in the heavens. An eerie glow highlights the action in the scene, almost making it come to life. You read the hastily written note. Fandral, I have discovered a great weakness in our defenses. Since we all have the mark, it is simply a matter of separating our heads from our shoulders. Then our remains can be used in the hidden approach, and the wards will be engaged, allowing those with the knowledge to travel the castle unopposed. One merely has to be within our walls for this to work. It is signed with 3 squiggly lines. The wood of this overturned chair looks cracked in several places. This overturned wooden table is set with inlaid hand-carved rosewood. Lining the far end of the banquet room, the massive fireplace sits cold and unused, gathering dust. You're clearly in no position to sit on the chair, or to be more precise, the chair is in no position to be sat upon. I just wanted to throw it in the fireplace and set it ablaze. The door is scuffed and dented, almost as if someone tried to force it open. The door is locked. This reinforced door sits solidly within the stone frame. The door is locked. This wooden door is inlaid with a familiar iron pattern. With a grunt, you shove the door open. The heavy wooden door sits a little crooked within its frame. Whoops. You slam the door shut. You shove the door open. The stairs wind away from you. Upwards from this landing to the next. Chilled air wafts down the stairs, sending a shiver down your spine. These. This large stone appears to have fallen from the ceiling. You attempt to lift the large stone, but it proves too heavy. Stairs wind away from you, upwards from this landing to the next. Yes, and I would like to use them. The cold grey stone of this tower landing perfectly reflects your dour mood. The swirling clouds and howling wind hint at the terrible strength of unnatural weather that surrounds the castle. This large stone appears to have fallen from the ceiling. This large broken stone is surely some remnant of the building material used to create this castle. The heavy wooden door is banded together with strong iron. You pull and tug at the door, but it appears to be locked from the other side. Well. Fog creeps down the stairs and past the bleak stone walls of this tower landing. A whistling fell wind forces its way around the edges of the door jamb. Strange, there's a carved pumpkin on the wooden door. As you knock on the door, you hear a faint voice ask, "Is that the best you can do at a costume? At least put something appropriate on your head that goes with the mask." Oh, like a witch's hat. Okay, fine. The winding stairs end abruptly in a stone wall. There sure is a lot of stone in this castle. The intricate, colorful weaving of this tapestry highlights the epic figure of a hero readying himself for battle. You light the tapestry on fire. The hungry flames make quick work of the flammable material. Well, you've seen the design of this door countless times and still can't tell what it is supposed to be. The door opens with a long, eerie creak. This circular room houses a massive telescope, as well as all manner of stargazing paraphernalia. All manner, huh? I see an empty table, a table with a giant book, and a mirror, and that's it. Yeah. Oh yeah, all manner of stargazing paraphernalia, for sure. You open the drawers of the desk and find an old book, which you take and put in your satchel. You open the book. You begin reading near the top of the page. There I found the source of the strange and terrible visions. It called itself Behirmith, a being beyond understanding, and described its mission as a warder whose purpose is to guard. When I queried it, the being opened by my mind to the terrors of fear, death, disease, and strife, and other beings I could not name. These entities were real and ancient, and desired nothing more than to subjugate the races. Big book. You read the handwritten entry on the page. I have noted several observations over the past fortnight. The stars have moved into an unheard of alignment. The unnamed hero, the hourglass depicting endless time, the broken sword of betrayal, the hooded figure of Thanos, the life stealer. All these constellations are out of season and position, yet here they are chasing across the night. Unbelievable! This can only portend a time of terrible danger and upheaval. The entry is signed by astronomer Laurel. A star chart is affixed to the wall, so Nadamir. You recognize some of the constellations, the pouring goblet of salvation, and the broken sword of conquest. Like a finger pointed towards the moon, the massive iron telescope is aimed towards the clear sky. You hope you won't miss all that heavenly glory. Heavenly glory. You step in close and look through the telescope. This bright northern star represents Eredelos, the mythical eagle that brings the morning sun each and every day. The Magi and fortune tellers call this twinkling star the Watcher, or the all-seeing eye. You seem to remember that this particular star is named after Aquatrix, the mythical god of water of the ancient Tian race. This star is usually one of the first ones you see on the horizon in the winter months. It is called Thomtesh, or more commonly known as the One Tree. One Tree. This far and distant sun is called Firios. It honors the fallen one from the skies that came to carve out the plains of fire in the southern lands. Okay. Large window opens to a night sky, one streaked with lightning and ominous storm clouds. Grappling hook failed to do anything constructive to the observatory. Yeah, but I mean, like, you know, trying to lodge it into the mortar so you might rappel down its length. Alas, the archway offers nothing to attach the hook to. The ash-grey wood is typical of that which makes an ironworm tree. The door is locked. Well, now what? Oh, this one, I guess. Passage beyond opens into darkness. Hallway appears to have seen a very violent, intense battle. I have 17 torches. The far side of the hallway looks to have caved in, making the way forward unpassable. heavy door, discolored and rotting, appears to be made of oak. Door swings open. The rich wood of this door is inscribed with a lion breathing fire. The door is locked. Oops. The castle's fortifications sit like an impenetrable wall against the relentless onslaught of the raging storm. The marble statue shows a winged figure, shielding her eyes from the sky. The plaque at the base reads, "Fear cowers." The marble statue shows a cowering, huddled figure. The ancient words beneath it read, "Despair humble." Standing on a base inscribed with the words, "Reliant Triumphant," a marble angelic statue reaches to the skies, an empty slot set within its outstretched arm. Failed to do anything instructive to the statue. Climb onto the statue, attempting to force the bar into the slot. No luck, it simply doesn't fit. Even with a mighty swing of the hammer, you barely managed to crack the marble. That's not what I wanted to do, so... Attempt to cut a piece of the marble from the statue. No, unfortunately it's quite resilient. I just want to put something in its hand. Oh well. You nearly slip on the damp, well-worn stones. Situated on the edge of a deep chasm, the castle defenses end in a fortified watchtower. You rummage through the sack, finding 2 scrolls and a key. Taking these, you then discard the sack. You put the bow in your satchel. Nice. You rummage through the corpse's tattered clothing, but fail to discover anything useful. Skeletal remains of a long-dead wizard lie rotting on the stone battlements. You are drawn to one particular passage. Follow the path that the ancients have hidden. To find the way beyond the wall of wisdom, one must follow the path that Ularua has trod, for that leads to the secret they've studied. Ularua, wasn't there something about... Sign of 3 squiggly lines. What was this one? Discover great weakness in our defenses. Separating heads from shoulders, and our enemies can be... or then our remains can be used in the hidden approach. You read the words on the scroll. One particular word stands out from the rest. Flumoris. In your mind's eye, you see a glyph glowing with power. As you quickly write down the strange marking in your spellbook, the scroll crumbles in your hands. You have learned a spell. Flumoris. This shimmering glyph translates to the word Flumoris. In your mind, you see a dazzling flash of light. Okay. Invoca. Focusing your will on the stone obelisk, you whisper the word Invocan and unleash your spell. The ghostly figure of Lakmir forms from the obelisk.
In arrogance and pride, we thought we could prevent Talimar from turning to darkness. We have surely paid for these sins. But this matters not, simple soldier. What is done is done. Time is fleet, so bend an ear to my voice. Hope lies within your breast. I say it again. Talimar the Black fears it. Even as he searches for a way to rip it from you. Even as he binds the dwarves to his madness. driving them deeper into the catacombs. And he will not stop until he rips every stone from the castle's foundation. For Talimar believes that a great beast slumbers far below. Mayhap this is true, for I have uncovered much, yet know so little. Of this, however, I am certain. The Warlock Lord knows not of your heritage. This is our great advantage, our great hope. Seek the terrible skull door of Tor Drakan. What lies beyond its threshold is unknown, even to me. A great behemoth, an ancient evil, a source of power. Be wary, boy. Heed my words. Do what I cannot. Go where I cannot. Learn the secrets of what Talimar seeks. Trust in what you find.
The words, "Trust in what you find," bounce around in your head as Lakmir fades away to nothing. So we need something to put in the hands of this statue, but we do have a key. One that we should look at. The key is made from a lightweight metal, one you have never encountered before. Can I use it on this door? Jam the key in the keyhole, hoping it will turn the lock. It doesn't. Will it work on either of these? Does not. Insert the key in the lock and turn. Success! The door is now unlocked. Having served its purpose, you throw away the key. Why do you keep throwing them away? What if they work on multiple doors? The bleak stone walls of this tower landing offer little warmth and comfort. A rock font filled with stagnant, discolored water is attached to the wall. You dip your hands in the stagnant water, rubbing them together in an attempt to clean them. A light breeze blows down the stairs, playfully tussling your hair. Door opens with ease. Otherworldly darkness fills the opening. Some malevolent force is sucking all light from this room. You sense that the very darkness itself is alive. Luckily, I have a spell called Fulmoris. You quickly chant the spell Fulmoris. The flash of the spell goes unnoticed by the living darkness in the room. Wait. Apparently that's not the answer. Okay. I'll just be going up here now. An unexpected shiver climbs your spine at the sound of a nearby unearthly cry. What if, actually... What if I use this? Since you don't have magic missile handy, you decide to try using the silver orb instead. Your efforts are in vain, and the living darkness is unchanged. Alright, okay, I guess I just go up the stairs then. The ancient banner is faded and worn. You light the banner on fire. The hungry flames make quick work of the aged fabric. The drab stone walls offer little respite, merely adding to your sour mood. Marble statue carved in the form of a female warrior with a spear sits on the landing. Perhaps it is fashioned in the image of a goddess. In a show of respect, you bow briefly to the deity this figure portrays. Then that's not what I intended to do, but sure. Door opens with a creak. When you enter the strong room, the woman lounging in front of you begins to speak. I do not know what he sees in you. I am not impressed. She shrugs before continuing. Forgive me and allow me to introduce myself. I am Malor Kahu, Chief Lieutenant of the Drakahan.
You wonder what would bring me to this wretched keep. Surely nothing less than the summoning of a great lord. Nearly a score of years removed, Talamar the Black beckoned me, and I answered him gladly. The forces of Drakahan were mine to command. We fell upon these wizards like rabid wolves. Their powers, their elemental pets, they were nothing to one such as he. Now all have fallen or fled, all but one, for he is timeless. The coward has barricaded himself within his tower, an ancient artifact within his grasp. But we will have him still. Or if my goblins do not pull him from his hole, when my lord returns, the wizard's head shall lie at his feet.
Unlike my underlings, I will not underestimate you. She finishes with a low snarl, her body growing, transforming. She is a changeling, a deadly race able to take the form of a monstrous creature. Her transformation complete, the beast appears to smile, taunting you with a flip of her claws. Hey, so, let's just save, you know, figure, yeah, you look pretty neat and all, but, Fluminous! Whether it's because you are rushed or that you are so terrified, you only manage to miscast your spell, the small explosion doesn't faze the wolf as she growls and prepares to attack. Well, the werewolf, once a fairly attractive female human lieutenant, is poised to attack. Carefully knock the arrow. In an extremely dramatic display, the wolf licks her lips and bares her teeth, ready for an attack. You quickly lift the bow and fire. The silver arrow flies true, burying itself deep in the heart of the wolf woman. The beast falls to the ground and, within moments, dies with a look of utter surprise on her face. Silver arrows. Well then. You pat down the wolf, hoping to find hidden pockets. Wait a minute. Why would the thing have any pockets? No, I wanted my arrow back. Large body of the changeling lies lifeless at your feet, in a pool of her own blood. Take the torch with a flourish and put it in your satchel. With a flourish. This loaf of bread looks more than a bit stale. I'll take it. Book. You read the entry on the last page. Summer moon, year 1157. The wizard remains within his tower, holed up like some cornered animal. I have lost scores of my best troops trying to gain entrance. And for what? For naught. I do not agree on wasting such resources, but the master has commanded that our endeavor look legitimate. Intrigue means nothing to me, as I would rather use my arts to eliminate those nettlesome roots. However, my orders are clear. The charade must continue. The blueprint shows an elevation of castle towers. Even though you can't understand the writing, you recognize that the drawings represent the living castle's Shadowgate. You pull the chart from the wall. The stuffed head of a trophy bear hangs on the stone wall. Sheets of rain pummel the castle walls outside this window. You open the desk and find several useful items which you put in your pack. Meat. This cut of meat, while raw, looks to be slightly rotten. You rummage around and find a key. You discard the sack when you are done. Got 2 keys now. Wait a minute. Hold up, sorry, just gotta burn this real quick. You cannot reach the banner with your torch.
What? Bro, you could totally reach the banner with my torch. You liar!
Light the wick of the candle. What if I walk in here and I use the candle? You wave the candle through the blackness, but the light cannot penetrate it. You light the wick of the candle. The candle flickers and goes out. You give the bread a light toasting. What if I use it on the jack-o'-lantern? There's already a candle inside. What? Using the pumpkin has no effect on the lit torch. Okay. Offer a little warmth and comfort. Candle flickers and goes out. Good. Good. No, okay. Let's see if one of these works on this. Doesn't work on that. Insert the key, turn it, and are rewarded with a satisfying sound of the door unlocking. With a pleased grunt, you throw away the key. I suppose it does help with remembering what key you've already used on what. Uninviting. A light fog rolls down the stone stairs. You light the banner on fire. Of course, you've already read that before. Quick work of the aged fabric. From this vantage, you can see the stairs winding up to the next level. The chamber sits off to one side. Marble statue, female warrior spear, perhaps fashioned in the form of a goddess. Show respect. Push the door open. An odd sensation tingles just at the edge of your consciousness. You sense there is magic afoot in this chamber. Feels real weird. Yo, what? The item seems to crackle under your fumbling fingers. There's stuff here. Hang on. Flamoris? Picture the spell glyph in your mind and whisper the word Flamoris. Flash bathes the room in brilliant white before a strange wavering effect illuminates phantom objects. There must be a magical illusion at work here. Take that. Take these. Rune. mounted to the wall. Truly, this must have belonged to one of the wizards of the circle. The drawers of the desk find nothing of value. Stumble over and sit heavily on the divan. The cushions seem in need of some restuffing. You alternate between blinking and rubbing your eyes, unsure if the disappearance of the objects has to do with your senses or the dissipating effects of the spell. Just want to make sure I got everything. Oddly enough, you wonder if you could pull this over your eyes. You mishandle the lit torch, which drops to the rug, forever leaving a scorch mark. I wanted to set it on fire! Really, I'm not allowed. So let's take a look at that note we got. You read the words on the scroll. One particular word stands out from the rest. Sparks. In your mind's eye, you see a glyph, glowing with power as you quickly write down the strange marking in your spellbook. The scroll crumbles in your hands. You have learned a spell. This shimmering glyph translates to the word sparks. When you concentrate on the symbol, a dizzying array of colors confounds your senses. Dizzying array of colors. Thick, twisted tangles of roots cover the tower landing, seem to be originating from upstairs. Sound is amplified in this circular chamber, filled with musical instruments. I'll take that. This large drum consists of a large animal hide stretched over a shell made with curved wood. Use the drum. No, use the drum! You put the flute in your satchel. You put the lute in your satchel. You use the harp on the harp. Yeah, it has no effect on the drum. Open each drawer looking for something of value. Nope, nothing. You lie down on the couch for a moment and close your eyes, only to be awakened by yelling Yorick. Come on, boy! You can rest when you're dead! Shut up, Yorick. Hand-carved flute is made from some type of wood. 4 holes have been carved into it. 6 strings run the length of this short-necked lute. It is a prized possession for any bard or tavern entertainer. You trip over the roots as you head up the stairs. Massive, twisted roots engulf the tower landing. The thick roots originate from the doorway to your left. A gnarled tangle of roots cover the door. You can almost make out a circular design on the door. The vegetation seems to swell as the flames from the lit torch is brought close. However, the roots do not catch fire. Hack away them with my sword? Yeah. You hack at the greenery and reveal a door underneath. The overgrown roots and vines seem to want to immediately grow back. The door opens, the creak and a strange rustling of leaves. This doorway is surrounded by a series of roots, making it seem as if this is an entrance into an underground chamber. You recall a fairy tale of a girl that went down a rabbit hole and hope that is not where you are heading. Yeah. This small chamber has literally been engulfed by roots and vines of all types that stem from a singular point in the ceiling. You wonder what is up there and resolve to do something about it. The body of Lakmir, the Timeless, floats above the floor, his expression a fascinating mix of calm and concentration. He grimaces every now and then, as if in pain. Its opening in the dense roots leads to a small nook. You lift your eyes to the ceiling, your jaw dropping in awe. You have found the source of the strange flora that has engulfed this room. Perhaps you should step in for a closer look. You stand up on your toes and get a close look at the center of the roots. A mesmerizing mass of roots and vines emanate from the center of the ceiling. At the heart of the tangled confusion, a golden artifact glows with a calming power. Oh, a golden thorn that I need. You pull the golden thorn from amongst the tangled roots. The artifact resists at first, but then seems to accept your touch, easily dislodging from the vines that enshrouded it. From floor to ceiling, this small chamber has literally been engulfed by roots and vines of all types. A solitary figure hovers in the center, seemingly lost in meditative trance.
Invocan!
No.
Sparks!
No. Alright, buddy. You drop to your knees and crawl through the grasping roots to a nook beyond. Amidst the tangle of roots and vines lies a small nook, housing a desk and various scholarly paraphernalia. Throw back the latch and open the chest. You find 2 scrolls, a key, and a book. These you place in your bag. Take a couple more books. The table is too large to move around. Chair creaks alarmingly under your weight. You quickly get back up. Any more things to look at in here? You read the handwritten note, timeless one. I've done what you have asked. My travels have taken me to the north, where I have found a woman from the family Onsal. Her great-grandmother can be traced back to the meeting you speculated. A secret relation with the High One some 300 years past. This woman has taken the name Kuthagar. A strong coincidence? Or have we found the one you seek? The letter is signed with a mark in the shape of the letter W. New spell, new spell. Yes, one particular word stands out from the rest. Ascensor. In your mind's eye, you see a glyph glowing with power as you quickly write down the strange marking. Scroll crumbles. This complex symbol translates to the ancient word ascensor. The images it conjures feels like some rite of passage. You thumb along the page and begin reading about halfway down. We struck our bargain. I would conceal the Well of Holding by constructing a huge edifice over it, imbued with magics and living defenses beyond fathoming, built at the junction of all ley lines. The origin, the place with power beyond measure, so the warder could perform his task. I still do not know who this old being was, nor how it came by its purpose. What entity put it on this path, and what purpose do I fulfill in this drama? Librarian achievement unlocked. You read an annotated passage. The dawning of the age shall portend a change to the powers of the earth and of the air. The rain shall end for all that walk the ways. Foremost among this is the Behemoth, he who is set above all others. It is he that holds the key and wields the powers of the stars. He stands against all, and all stand against him. Great and terrible is his might. Librarian achievement. Dog-eared page. The neat handwritten entry fills the page from edge to edge. My efforts have been rewarded, as I have found the one. It is left to me to set him on his path. This I know. The magic I must attempt is formidable. and I have little acquaintance with astral conjurations. Though taxing, I need remain in this stasis until the task is exhausted. My defenses will have to hold. The thorn has proven to be a valuable artifact, and has thwarted Kahu's attempts to reach me.
And then I killed her. So you're good, bro. Hang on. I just want to check something. We've got Fulminous. Something's not right here, boy. I smell a powerful enchantment. Yes. Sparks? No. Ascensor. Gather your will and picture the glyph in your mind. Closing your eyes, you release the spell, expecting something wonderful to happen. Nothing does. Now that's one hard spell to pronounce, and no mistaking that. Okay. Alright, I was hoping one of those would activate the rune, but I guess not. Let's go back. Save. Let's use a sensor. Here. In your mind, you see the ancient circle in front of you. Summoning your will, you speak the command Ascensor with confidence. Wizardry power travels from your outstretched arms and onto the circle. The dais begins to glow, pulsating with tremors of energy. Step onto it.
Open your mind, young Jer. Fret not. It is I whose name you bear, Kuthaga the First. Behold those whom have gone before, when Gatekeeper was but a hillock, and the living castle no more than a dream. They stood where you now stand, on this holy ground.
Uh-huh. As soon as you step onto the platform, a painful vibration runs through your body, freezing you into place. As the room comes back into focus, a sense of peace and purpose fills you with energy. You now feel empowered, like you could do something that only a wizard of the circle could accomplish. Cool. I have been empowered. Let's find out if we can activate those runes now. As you approach the rune, a strange power overtakes you. Both your hand and the rune glow with a magical light as you pull it from the wall and place it in your satchel. Whispered voices, not unlike what you heard when you were initiated on the summoning dais, fill your head with a triumphant chorus. Yeah. What was in this room? Oh yeah, the music room. Okay. Let's go into this one. I think it was up one more. Yeah. Save. And put this on. Knock knock.
What do you want?
Tricks or treats?
Tricks or treats, you say in your loudest voice. The door opens in response with an eerie creak. This tower chamber is empty, save for a strange gilded mirror resting against the far wall that hums with power. You close your eyes and walk purposefully into the mirror. The smooth surface gives way and blackness overtakes you. In but a brief moment, you are transported somewhere else. A forlorn and eerie field strewn with pumpkins as far as the eye can see opens up before you. As you stand before the strange circle on the ground, you have the disturbing feeling that someone, or something, is watching from the shadows. The lettering on this tombstone is too difficult to read. You can make out the name Abbey Normal carved into the cold stone of the marker. The chiseled inscription on the tombstone reads, "Here lies Drakan, protector of the Blothany gem." The chiseled words are faded beyond comprehension, but you think you see the letters R.I.P. in the name Ace Harding. It appears as if something large and round would fit within the circle diagram. Indeed. Satisfying thunk. After a moment, some strange inspiration takes hold of you, and you effortlessly carve a rather impressive-looking jack-o'-lantern. Pumpkin falls to the ground with a thump that echoes across the field. Grab the tattered sheet and drop it into your satchel. Pumpkin falls to the ground with a thump that echoes across the field. Circle repletes with a dizzying array of strange swirls and archaic symbols has been scorched into the earth. Curious hum seems to emanate from it as well. If only I had one more pumpkin that I could carve. Forlorn and eerie field strewn with pumpkins as far as the eye can see opens up before you. Yeah. This is ridiculous. Tattered white sheet has numerous holes cut throughout. You wonder what kind of blockhead made this costume. You attempt to put the sheet over your head, but the fabric is too shredded and tattered to wear. Good grief. As you attempt to lay the sheet on the ground, a negative force repels your efforts. A what? Okay then. Guess I'll step on back. I need another pumpkin, I guess. Was there anything else up here? That door's locked. That one doesn't work. Ah! You have to use both hands to turn the key in the stubborn lock. Once the door is unlocked, you toss the key aside. From this vantage, you have a panoramic view of the Gatekeep Mountains. Large winged creature soars to and fro on the wind currents, even as a storm rages in the sky. Yeah, I'm not sure that I should be here, to be honest. I'm gonna save. And then I guess we'll try casting a little sparks. You gather your will and concentrate upon the spell glyph sparks. You whisper into the night sky. Light shoots from your fingertips, followed by an explosion of multicolored sparks, almost like fireworks. The blast expands into two malevolent, electrically charged oblong shapes. The creature responds with a roar of greeting, flying towards the tower parapet. As it nears, you realize the beast is a wyvern, a winged dragon replete with a riding saddle. You gape in amazement as the creature fans its wings, hovering just off the edge of the tower. It glares at you, letting out a cry of challenge. This winged creature is a fabled wyvern, hovering over the edge of the tower. The scaled mount seems a bit nervous, poised to take flight at any moment. The wyvern is spooked by your actions. It lets out a shrill cry and, with a strong beat of its wings, propels itself into the sky. Well, that didn't work. Sparks. Creature spawns. Glares at you. A cry of challenge. What if I use Flamoris? Nope. And he takes off. Do I need to just cast Sparks twice? Spooking the wyvern by your actions, it lets out a shrill cry and propels itself into the sky. Loot? Nope. Man, this is a weird one. Maybe Invocan? Nope. I was hoping it might, like, allow me to talk to him or something. Oh, meat. You throw the food at the wyvern. The beast immediately begins to gobble it up, oblivious to everything else. You carefully sneak close to the distracted dragon. As gently and quickly as you can, you remove the amulet from the beast's neck.
That was a right clever trick there, boy. Well done!
Yorick exclaims. Completely distracted by the food it's eating. Large glowing jewel rests in a setting shaped as a sunburst. It's surely the legendary Bladed Sun. So you've got two pieces now. It's great. Try to force the golden thorn on the Bladed Sun. All you succeed in doing is wearing yourself down from the pointless attempt. Bane swallows his food with a loud gulp. It looks like it's close to finishing its tasty morsel. Is there anything else that I would need to do? I don't want to... You know, I only had the one, so... Oops. Maybe I shouldn't have used... Apparently I had two pieces of food. Thought it had a saddle, and I can't ride it? I don't know. Swing your dirk at the wyvern. Apparently it wasn't distracted enough. With the beat of its wings, the beast avoids your attack altogether, flying back into the night sky. Let me just load real quick. I just don't want to waste things, you know?
box. Have a stale bread. And I will take that. And I guess I'll leave. Locked from the other side. What was straight through? Oh yeah, there is a locked door here. Twist with a satisfying click. The door is now unlocked. With a shrug, you toss the key away over your shoulder. This ornate chamber is dominated by a beautiful mosaic design on the wall. A large hole has been blasted in the floor, leading down into darkness. Take that book. The mummified figure is dressed in regal garb with the design of a lion on it. You have little doubt that this is the legendary doomed King Dugan from the ancient courts of Stormhaven. You don't quite understand why, but a sixth sense warns you against torturing the king. Amongst the rubble and destruction, an ornate stone throne sits askew within this ancient chamber. A mummified figure presides over it, slumped to one side. One look at the cracked and splintered bones of the rib cage reinforces just how frail life is. A panoramic mosaic fills the back wall of this chamber. It depicts a battle in the sky over a series of distinctly colored mountain ranges. This once regal statue stands broken, badly damaged from some long past upheaval. You haul off and strike the statue, cracking the stone with a satisfying smack. Strike the statue hard with a single roundhouse blow. It teeters and falls, followed by the sounds of several heavy wooden ceiling beams falling from the ceiling. A thick layer of dust chokes the decayed remnants of this once finely made rug. While the large rug smolders and smokes for a few moments, it refuses to catch fire. Stone statue is sculpted to resemble a fabled knight of old. Attempt to topple the statue, but to no avail. Let's go down here then. With a deep breath, you scramble down the beam and into the shaft below. Spelunker achievement. Congratulations, you have earned the Spelunker achievement. Cave walls seem to be closing in. A momentary feeling of panic grips you as you ponder all the rock overhead. Dude, look at this place. A final bout of pain shoots through your body. After a moment, it passes, and you feel much better. Perhaps the Banshee curse has run its course. Congratulations, you have earned the Novice Adventurer achievement. Veins of quartz and crystal run through the rock walls in this tunnel. So Banshee no longer cares about the fact that I desecrated that tomb. Veins of quartz and crystal run through the rock walls in this tunnel, and there doesn't seem to be anything else here. Okay. Set of tunnels, each leading off in a different direction, line this central cave. Well, I think that's where we're gonna have to end it for the day. We've done a lot. We've done a lot. Look at... We're in the catacombs now. Though I feel like I should probably head back. Man. The towers. Yeah, there's still that darkness room. There's, I think, one or two doors that are still locked. And then back to the castle here. Many, many paths. There's that statue which needs something to be placed into its hand. There's the bookcase, which definitely leads somewhere. I'm just not sure how to interact with it properly. And then we definitely need to go back and grab some runes from the caves at some point. There's a bunch of those, and we're gonna need some way to cross that bridge. Some way to make ourselves weightless. You know? But yeah, we'll have to get back to this later. Next stream will be on Monday. More Dark Souls 3. Cinders mod. Then Wednesday for some more Sea of Stars. Very fun RPG. Highly recommend. And actually not next Saturday. Next Saturday I'm going to be at a convention for that whole weekend, so I will not be streaming. But the Saturday after, we should be back with some more Shadowgate. So it will it'll probably be a little bit later in the day, just, you know, start time a little bit later, because I got something going on that morning. It's scheduled to end at noon, and so obviously I can't start my stream at noon. But yeah, but I should still be streaming more Shadowgate that day, just a little bit later. Regardless though, be kind to yourselves, have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you next mission. Bye-bye.